time about money seeming to be a problem in everyone's lives. Now I look at some people and it looks, like they have their money tripped together and things seem to be cruising along. It doesn't seem to be a focus for them. And are you suggesting that it's just something that they're not looking at, or is there some people that are comfortable with money?
I'm sure there are, but I would also suggest that there are instances that occur in people's lives that it does become an issue, where there is a place where some pain is coming up for them. It could be somebody who's really well off and let's say they're equipping an office or something, and they go out and they buy a fax machine, and that feels great, I got my new fax, and they go out and buy a computer, and that feels great, and they just stock their office, and then, well, maybe I should get a stereo system to have up here in the office, and it's at that point that something, the possibility of something occurring. Can we just continue, say, to spend money on ourselves without feeling guilt? Is there no place where that stuckness will start? Now, I've experienced situations not quite so lavish as what I just described, but quite similar, where it felt good to be spending money on myself, let's say, or for things that I needed, and then it came something that was a little more personal item, and all of a sudden I started to feel a tightness, and no, I shouldn't be doing this. I reached that point where it was no longer acceptable to be really free around the money. The ease was gone. It suddenly became painful. And I'm not saying this is true for everybody, but I am saying that upon closer examination, it's quite possible that there are issues that maybe some of these people just don't want to talk about, or it just happens. It could be a place of pain that occurs, and then I just won't go there, and off we go. It's worth looking at anyway.
Yeah, I know in my own experiences as you're talking, and I was just thinking about how sometimes I've got this internal voice inside that's justifying my expenditures. Like if it's, for the family, or if it's for the business, then it's okay to spend it. But sometimes when it's just for myself, it's like, oh, well, maybe I can receive a little bit, maybe I can spend some money to go to this workshop, if I can, and even then it's like tell myself, but it's to train so I can be better at facilitating or whatever. But if I just allow it to be just a gift for myself, sometimes it can put me in touch with those places where I still feel unworthy, I guess, to receive. Would that be one of the pain that
you have a willingness to look under. Now, for a lot of us, we hit these places, and that's as far as we'll go. And let me give you an example. A person, and I know you know people in this situation, we all do, where they're in a job they don't like. And it's not fulfilling them, they're very unhappy, and yet they know that if they quit this job, then where are they going to pay the rent? They got a family to support. So they feel stuck in that job. Now, the situation you described and the one I described, if we choose, we can just end it right there and just feel stuck, And what I'm suggesting in the workshop is that there are places we can go from there, that it just looks like it's stuck, it feels like it's stuck, but it's never about what we think it is. There's always something under. So we look at ways that we can go underneath and find what's really going on, and then all of a sudden this problem, it doesn't necessarily go away, but it does transform. It becomes more of an opportunity than a problem, an opportunity for healing whatever it is that's underneath. And so we're no longer fighting our situations. We're much more accepting of whatever's going on, and then we can take it from there.
So exploring what's underneath, how is it that would change the problem or unstick us?
Well, one of the greatest tools we have, and the most underrated, is awareness. I just put the number, it's 80% of the solution. It's just bringing things to awareness. Now, my number could be crazy. It seems true for me. I feel like when I brought something up from the unconscious and I brought it into my awareness, that I am behaving in a certain way and I'm feeling a certain way because of this, it feels like a load has been taken off. And now my choice has come back. Something's come into my awareness, and whereas before I was sort of operating on automatic pilot and reacting to these places in me, now I can choose again. Or I can, the next time the situation occurs, I'm bringing this new awareness to it. I've got my choice back. I've got my power back. I'm no longer giving my power away to parts of me that don't want it brought into the light. They don't want themselves brought into the light. So that's, to me, that's the biggest thing, is bringing it into awareness.
So when, just to get a bit of clarity, because sometimes when people talk about awareness, they're just talking about head knowledge. And I know, it's easy, or maybe it's not easy, but we can understand our patterns sometimes, and that's a sort of a kind of awareness. But I can be aware of stuff and watch it go on and on and on, but it seems that somehow I haven't been aware at maybe an emotional level, or, embodied the awareness. Can you speak a little bit on what you mean by awareness?
There are places that I have found, I'll just speak personally here, they maybe better illustrate. There are places that I've uncovered, places in my past where I have made certain decisions about life, made certain decisions about situations that I might encounter, about other people in my life, where out of fear and guilt and in a contracting mode, I've set up mechanisms inside my being that will react a certain way, automatically, to situations. And so now here I am, supposedly an adult male, and I'm still in reaction in the same way that I programmed myself a long time ago when I made those decisions. Now it's all happening out of my awareness. It just happens. Now something will come up, or somebody will walk in the room and they'll look a certain way, and I have a contracting reaction to that. And I don't know why. I start to feel shy, or I start to, I immediately don't like that person. And it's all happening because of mechanisms that I've set in motion way back when. So what I'm talking about is no longer being slaves to those reactive modes that we've set up, to understanding where I'm reacting to that person because of something that happened a long time ago. I don't have to be doing that anymore. But I will continue to act that way until I understand, until I've brought it up into the light, to shine the light on it, light of awareness. So that's what I mean by awareness. I hope that's clear. It's not so much a remembering as it is a reconnecting with the feeling that's happening, and just being willing to be with whatever feeling is with you. Like if this fellow walks in and I'm starting to feel this discomfort, am I just gonna be, all right, I'm gonna separate myself from him through my discomfort, and that's that? Or am I gonna feel that discomfort and say, all right, what's this about? This doesn't feel like the truth to me. And just feel that feeling and go in as deeply as I can go at that moment. And the workshop just provides a supportive atmosphere for that process to go on, because we need help with this. This is, that's what friends are for.
And how do you find that it loops back into money again? Like, from what I understand you're saying is that money is like a doorway, that something's coming up.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody was to come to you for one of your workshops or your private one-on-one counseling, could they expect that money was just going to be used as a doorway to go into other things, or does it loop back somewhere where it strengthens the prosperity or their looseness with money in their life?
Sure, it can, very easily. Like I say, that situation that's occurring that produces the stuckness, if we can go deeper, and you come back here, you're not coming back the same person you were when you left. The situation is now transformed because you're seeing it through new eyes. And then there's nothing to preclude dealing with whatever that problem may be on a very practical, intellectual level, if we so choose. or the problem may transform itself and the solution may present itself right away. Or the problem may dissolve, you know. It may not be a problem anymore. It may just be a situation in their lives that they are now prepared to deal with. So, yeah, we can talk on any, we'll go anywhere that the person wants to go with it. Yeah. But I see, I can't pretend that I'm going to sit here and have all the practical financial advice that people may want for, you know, increasing their money, or I've got certain knowledge that I picked up in the business world, but my main focus is to use money as an opportunity and a doorway, like you said.
You know, some people talk about money often being related to fathers, something to do with somehow connecting with the father, that has something to do with money. Can you speak about that a little bit, or is that something that you
We have worked with that in workshops, and it turns out to be very powerful. And the funny thing is that whether it has anything to do with money or not, it's we have some wonderful exercises with connecting with the Father, you know, and connecting with the gifts that He's brought into our lives. But, and this is something I can't really explain logically, but when I was asked to do a workshop on money the first time, it was the first thing that jumped into my head. I said, well, what is it? You know, why am I being asked to do this? And the first thing that came to my head was that I had a certain degree of acceptance of what my Father was offering to me. It turns out that, you know, money was part of that. But it was an appreciation that, and a receptivity to the love that He was offering in the best way that He could. And in some way that I can't explain to you, I knew that this was important. I knew that it was one of the things I was being asked to bring to the workshops, was reconnecting with the Father. Now, I've heard in workshops that fathers represent money and jobs and career and, you know, and all that stuff. And I accept that that's true. But I don't feel that, it's not a conviction of mine. It's not something that I know to be true. It seems logical to me. This other thing, I just feel it really deeply that this is crucial. A crucial part of abundance.
So you kind of hinted at that your father had some gifts that he passed on to you. Is that so he had a certain comfort with money? Would this be some of the?
He had what I would term a really healthy attitude towards it. You know, he was a very generous person. He believed very much that money was a beautiful thing, because he saw it as being a really fair way to exchange services or gifts or products or whatever. It made the exchange that was happening fair. Like he really wanted it to be a fair thing. If somebody did work for him and he paid them money, he wanted to pay them fairly, because he wanted to feel that too. You know, he wanted to feel like it was a win-win situation. And he definitely passed that on to me. He wasn't ostentatious with it. He just was very practical and down to earth.
I don't know what ostentatious means.
Well, he didn't throw it around. He had a fair bit, but he wasn't into money for money's sake at all. It just wasn't part of his routine. But mostly it was the fairness of it. Like, he just saw, this is a great invention, money. You know, a lot of people think money is dirty or something. And what he passed on to me was, just look at this. Isn't this a great way to do business with one another? You can really make it fair this way by using this stuff. You know, this is a great medium here. You know, so that was important.
So what if some people come to you and we have these programs about money being dirty, or you know, the root of all evil, and money corrupts, and there's all these sort of little catchphrases that many of us in this society seem to be raised up with. Would you suggest that somehow we get those out of our mind, or is there
no
to deal with that? Or
yeah, I would suggest that any of those things you said are wrong, You know, there's not a wrongness about them. And also, I wouldn't want to sit here and say that if you've got those attitudes and I don't, so I'm right and you're wrong. You know, I use that as an opportunity to connect with the places in me that are still believing those things. You know, and I would say to that person, now, do you know this to be true? Do you know that money is dirty, or is this just something that you believe? And if it's something you believe, how hard do you want to hold on to that belief? How much do you want to be right about it? You know? And if there's any willingness at all to let go of this belief, then the sky's the limit. Because it's our beliefs about money that are the greatest handicap. It's not only beliefs about money, it's beliefs about ourselves and money. You know, that it could be any myriad number of beliefs. But my thing about that now is that the truth about money is beyond belief. It's, you know, it's not about, this is not about beliefs. So everything you just said to me, I would have to ask that person, do you know this to be true? You know, if this is something that you know, then I wouldn't talk anyone out of something that's a truth for them. But I would ask them to look at it very carefully. Is this a truth, or is this something that you just believe?
So, I've noticed with some of my belief systems that sometimes it's like if they're challenged, my first tendency is to want to hang on and be right about them. And do you encounter that in your work sometimes?
Oh, I encounter that right in here. Yeah, I you know, there are times when I'll get extremely angry when my beliefs are challenged. And the funny thing is, see, that's a good watermark for me, because if a truth of mine is challenged, like something I really know is true, I'm not getting angry, I'm not defending anything, there's nothing to defend. You know, it just seems, that's okay, I don't need you to believe in my truth. You know, I'm happy to know, to have a truth, you know, to know something that's true for me. If it's a belief of mine, then I'm going to get like this, you know, if you challenge me, you know, on my belief. And so I've just recently come to say things like, you know, I don't really believe in beliefs anymore. You know, I think they're such a huge block towards oneness, towards unity, towards us coming together. And it's amazing how we hold on to them. You know, we find them so dear. We'll go to war over our beliefs. We'll almost, it's our sacred right to fight for our beliefs. You know, and wow, it's so separating. It's just putting me, you know, this is what I believe, and you're over there, and I'm over here, and I'm right, man. And the only way we're going to join is when you agree with me. Yeah.
And it might not even be that the belief is something that doesn't function well, is what I'm getting. It's more about this hanging on to.
Right, right. Yeah, because when we read things in books, or we hear somebody say something that sounds true for us, you know, my tendency is to get on, you know, all right, I'm going to ride that horse now. You know, that sounds great, I'm going to ride that one. You know, I'm going to wave that flag.
Right.
But and that's okay. That's okay. Like, you try it on, you know, and if it's something that you feel it could be a truth, you know, there's no reason to chuck it. What you might want to look at chucking is the idea of holding on to it, you know, and until it's your truth, until that point where you can say that it's in my body, it's in my cells, you know, it's in me. This is the truth for me now, you know. A typical situation would be, you know, since the 60s we've been throwing around, you know, we are all one, you know, and people go around saying that and stabbing other people in the back, you know, and just behaving in a way that belies that belief, and yet they say it and they really want it to be true, and somewhere deep inside we know it's true, but it's not alive for us at that point. So if I'm going to act from there, I'm living a lie.
If you're going to act
from a belief rather than my truth, then I'm not living the truth, I'm living a lie. You know? So even if it sounds great, if I'm not willing to if I'm not willing to let go of it, then my life's going to be off in many ways. And especially in my communications with other people, it's going to be off. And especially with your partners. I have this theory that I'm just watching very closely, that in communication with not just marriage partners, but people we're close to, when we feel attacked, the next time when I feel attacked in a conversation, I look at, well, what did I just say? Did I really believe? Do I just believe that, or is that a truth? You know, because I think I get attacked. I think my beliefs get attacked. I don't think my truth ever gets attacked. So that's just the theory at the moment. So I'm watching that, but I do know that beliefs are separative when we hold on to them.
So if I was to feel like on the defensive, then that might be a good sign that there's some belief system that I need to at least let go of, if not look at and reevaluate. Is that?
Or just let go of let go of it for sure. It may come back. It may be that it's true for you to have that system at that time, or it may be true that what you believe in will be a truth for you at some point. But you can hide there, you know. You can hide in your beliefs, and where you will never be in the moment. You'll never be living the truth. You'll be hiding under the shell of your beliefs. And even if they're wonderful beliefs, this is the thing that's hard for me to accept. I had beliefs that said, we're all wonderful, you know, and we're all, you know, we are all one, and there is a God, and, you know, things that say, hey, this is great, this is inclusive, you know, this includes everybody. What's wrong with having this belief? What was wrong with it was that I'd be talking to you from that belief, and I'm not in the moment with you. You know, I'm not in a true place with you anymore. So that's what was wrong with it. It wasn't the belief itself. It sounds great, you know, but I'm hiding out there. I'm not with you. So getting back to the money aspect of it, money, when people have a problem in their life around money, it's usually because they believe something about themselves or something about money. And we can go from there. That's a place to start, you know.